Hey, what's up, guys? Just update. I went to the doctor's yesterday. Turns out, that I'm dying. Uh, yeah, a slow death, just like we all are. I mean, eventually, gonna kick the bucket. Yeah, it turns out this whole death thing, nobody gets out alive. Nobody. So, I hope you find that comforting. You know, early morning video. Yeah, on a hump day. There's your sunshine for you. Let's see here. Moving along. Air dry clay ruins. There was the first section. I don't know if it'll show some of the brickwork in that or not. And this next section is not painted yet and is definitely a little more fragile. And you can even see the fissure kind of going up, and that's just from it drying. So maybe this piece was a little too big. In the future, on the back, I may bury maybe some fiberglass screen material like from your window screens. But I thought maybe these two pieces coming together to make a corner of a building. Put some lumber on the inside, make it look like possibly there was a second floor. Some fire damage, of course, but then peeking out through the hole there in the corner, the Pack 40, just waiting to ruin some tanker's day. So that air dry clay, I'm kind of liking that stuff. It's not near as messy as I remember when I was a kid. So, and wash up afterwards is nice warm soapy water, and I'm done. It will hold detail like you saw with the brick. Um, this right here, what would you call that piece on the walker? Uh, for lack of a better term, I mean, it resembles an eye, and it'll have a gun in the center of it that spins. Um, and it's kind of got that, not a concave, but convex, I guess, would be the opposite of that. And the as you guys pointed out, and thank you, the ATST, that will be right along there on his, yeah, on his head, the cockpit area. I'm going farther and farther each time, which is kind of the best part. That's where most of the fun's coming from. And since I did the hatch that opens, next time I don't know if I get some spare parts, because I'm going through my spare parts pretty quick. I didn't have a great stash to begin with. Uh, I could see opening that up and doing an interior cockpit, having one section maybe the pilot, and then the seat next to it the weapons officer. Uh, Someone like Cohen, uh, Mr. Cohen, Mr. Michael Cohen, I believe it is. He's got a stash of parts. I think I could build my own. I think I could build my own anything out of the parts that he has. Not just a tank. I think I could build anything because he's got parts. Yeah, make a mega collector jealous. Okay, the F4 Wildcat that got its clear coat last night. It is dry to the touch this morning. I don't see any fogging or anything. It looks good, so maybe pin wash and start some more weathering today. I better work on that carrier deck a little more. Here is what would be the midsection of the ATSD. The top portion of the legs will connect here to this I'm trying to think of what those are called, and I don't know if you would recognize it. If you do, I'll grab one here in a second and show you what it is before I cut it in half. Got a couple of, I don't think that's a bomb, I think that's a fuel tank from one kit that wasn't used. So I put the halves back there to be, well, some kind of, I don't know, hydraulic fluid storage. How's that? Those caps that the top legs will connect to, those are the thingamabobbers, I think is the technical term, or the whatchamacallits, or the ear thingy. Let's call it ear thingy. You know, doctor sticks that on the end of that little thing with a light, crams that thing in your ear to make sure that there's something in that nugget, make sure there's something in there. And yeah, I said, can I have some of those? I have a project. She left the office shaking her head yes, but at the same time laughing, going, not even wanting to know. So I didn't tell her. On the way home, I don't get down into Corona that often. It's probably a 45-minute drive from here. And Corona just so happens to have a hobby shop that occasionally puts out some models on sale, decent models. I even saw some dragon kits and some trumpeter kits, which, yeah, I can find them everywhere online, but hobby shops, now you find the standard issue Revell stuff. It's everywhere. And Revell does a lot of kits. It's too bad that there's maybe 15 different models that proliferate. The arts and crafts stores, the model stores, no such thing around here. But between Hobby Lobby and Michael's, I think Hobby Lobby might have 10 different models that Michael's doesn't. Otherwise, you're at the same store, exact same store, which is kind of a bummer. I'm going to be working on painting some figures, and was watching a gentleman paint with Vallejo paints, and learning about the wet palette was kind of, I'm glad I learned about that. And he also uses the flat base in the Vallejo paints to remove that, what else can you call it with Vallejo paints? That plasticky look. So, yeah, picked up a bottle of that, and then I passed the deal of the century. I figured, well, I'm gonna catch it from the wife for picking up something else at the hobby store. But it's, you know, what, $2.25, I think. It's the small jar, 10 mil. Yeah. Then I walked by, and I already have this kit. But it's got the little photo etch parts for the poles and the photo etch straps to hold the skis together on the guy that's carrying them. And since I'm practicing, I'm sure one set's going to be testing, and the other will be what improvements I can make. Where do I need to make improvements? This kit was marked down 75%. And I got this here and the jar of paint for right at $5.30. and proceeded to tell my wife when I got home, let's just thank our lucky stars that they didn't have a bunch of kits marked down to 75% off, because we may have gone without dinner for a couple of nights. That was wonderful, though. They had some more kits that looked nice and were on sale. So, you know, if I'm fortunate enough to ever have the money show up on the same day there's a sale, I'll be happy. Otherwise, thanks for torturing me. So they had 2 huge buckets of paint and brushes, 50% off. And these size jars of paint for $2. I'm thinking, geez Louise, I can't just walk in here with a $100 bill in my pocket. I just can't. There wasn't a time in my life I could have, but that sale would have been, the last jar would have been bought as I walked through the door. So, as soon as the money starts rolling in, I'll be making periodical trips down there to see what's on sale. You can believe that. So, there is the ATST coming along. I'm trying not to add too much to it. I find myself falling into a trap. I learn how to make new pieces, and I could put it there. Oh, what needed there? And I can see pretty soon, if I haven't done it already, I get so much on there that it won't even resemble what was in the movie anymore. And this is by no means exactly what was in the movie. I'll call this prototype 1. But I think it resembles what's in the movie really well. And I think that my story of it possibly being an early model paper version, if you will, I think that's a good story to tell. I think they had to start somewhere. They didn't just build a Ferrari right out of the gate. Jeez. So now I'm going to work on, I'm hoping to be able to pose him without having to cram too much wire and all that up his legs. Come up with a nice pose, kind of a jungle scene. The evil is coming out. Because now I'm wondering, I made that comment in the first video about submachine gun, Thompson submachine gun, and just mowing down those little, I don't know, the little carpet guys, the little bear slash, I don't know. They carried, I don't know, stones and those little bolo weapons. Yeah, those things. Maybe I could have this guy just couple of laser blasts and just wiping out the whole kit and caboodle of them. I mean, like a little fuzzy bear mud hole of a mess of them. I need help. All right, guys. I'm working on the legs. I've got a bunch of these that I've cut out of styrene. I'll have to get the Dremel and smooth them out. Here are some of the leg sections, and I'll figure out ways to sandwich them together. The feet, I'll be working on making something for the feet today, and probably the maybe the guns that are up on the head unit, and maybe also the gun that goes under the front end of the unit, or the chin, if you will. That almost looks like a face when you look at it. A sad little face. One of those faces from Easter Island, isn't it? Anyway, gents. Hump day is here. Hope it's a good one. We're almost to the weekend. Charge. Talk to you guys later.